Abrego Garcia has played a significant role in an alien smuggling ring. Thousands of illegal aliens were smuggled. This defendant trafficked firearms and narcotics throughout our country on multiple occasions.
It's even worse, possibly, than we thought. He was trafficking in women and children, smuggling in MS-13 gang members into our country. He was abusing the women in his control, and he was even soliciting child pornography as well.
That MS-13 criminal migrant suspect back on U.S. soil, facing some horrific charges, including allegedly making more than 100 trips to smuggle women and children. But Democrats are still defending him.
It's the Trump administration and all his cronies who should apologize to the country for putting us through this unnecessary situation, and to Abrego Garcia for putting him through this situation.
Otherwise, he has a status which is withhold deportation.
Now they're trying to act like he's some kind of drug lord or, human trafficker.
They really cannot help themselves. Our next guest is a policy advocate dedicated to fighting human trafficking and exploitation. Allie Hopper joins us now. Thank you so much for joining us. So the description you get from Pam Bondi is that this was Kilmar Abrego Garcia's full-time job, human smuggling.
Yeah, exactly. And what the public needs to understand is when they say that, yes, it's not trafficking, it's smuggling, they need to understand the circumstances in which a lot of these illegal aliens find themselves when they're in a smuggling situation. It is not, what the media makes it out to be. They are horrifying conditions. They are under the most stressful circumstances, and they even included children in this process. A lot of times, so smuggling focuses on money and movement. Trafficking involves exploitation. But what people don't understand is a lot of times smuggling ends up turning into a trafficking situation. And a lot of children and adults, men and women, have fallen victim to ending up in trafficking situations as a result of smuggling. That's not even to say how many immigrants haven't made it through those terrifying, horrifying smuggling situations. They are under the worst conditions. And I will tell you a quick story. My business partner, Dr. Jared Sadolsky, and I encountered a smuggling victim on the border. Guess what? She was, and to be clear, she was on the United States side, but the smuggler left her and her 6-year-old to die because she was injured. She was in the middle of nowhere. The sun was going down. There wasn't a road within a mile of sight. And these are the situations, these are the stories that the media on the other side do not want to talk about.
That's a horrifying story, and I think a part of a lot of these stories that don't get told are the people that a lot of the politicians claim to be wanting to help are actually hurting them, because they do wind up in these truly horrifying situations. In terms of Abrego Garcia, it's remarkable to me, and I don't know how on a political, how Democrats recover from, even after all we know about what he was up to, they're still defending him. How does that play out politically in your mind?
Honestly, it's a horrible political strategy, campaign strategy, whatever you want to call it. When you are elected by American citizens and you are advocating for illegal aliens above those that voted for you, that pay your taxes, that pay your salary, those are the people that elected you to protect their communities, protect their children, protect our troops, protect our veterans, and focus on the infrastructure and laws that improve our communities. Instead, you see lawmakers traveling to El Salvador to advocate for Garcia, when in the meantime, Van Hollen voted down against the Laken-Riley Act for the death, involving Rachel Moore, and she was a constituent in his state. So it just is mind-blowing.
And so meanwhile, you have politicians defending these sanctuary cities in places like New York City and L.A., where you have these violent protests breaking out. Yet again, it's a situation where if ICE were to cooperate, if local officials were to cooperate with ICE, you could hand over the worst of the criminal aliens. And instead, because ICE officials are having to go into communities and find these people themselves and arrest them, they're also picking up the collaterals who are not the dangerous criminals.
You're exactly correct. And the public needs to understand the misinformation involved in this. There are a lot of false narratives. ICE is particularly focusing on the worst of the worst, the bad actors, the cartel members, the gang members, the ones that have committed atrocities against children that should not be here. And that is what they're focusing on. That is their primary focus.
Right.
Now, do other undocumented immigrants, illegal immigrants, end up getting caught in that net? Absolutely. But that's not the primary focus here. And when you have bad actors exploiting this unrest to sow further chaos, they are just trying to undermine the Trump administration and his focus on national security, border security, and the safety and well-being of our country.
Allie Hopper, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.